Hi guys, it's Sarah from Slick McBee. Today I am uploading my first video and it is on how to crochet. Now if you already know how to crochet and you're just kind of looking for some different stitches or patterns or whatever, just subscribe and come back because I will be uploading those later. But today what I'm going to focus on is kind of breaking down crochet in general and the tools that you need and all that fun stuff. So to start, I'm just using some cheap yarn. I just got this at Walmart. This is a great yarn to have when you're just beginning. You don't want to get really expensive yarn until you kind of have your stitches down, because when you're first learning how to crochet, your stitches are probably going to be kind of loose and uneven as you're learning to kind of work with the yarn. So I just recommend a really nice basic yarn to start with. This is, so when you're reading a label of a crochet, you're reading the label of the yarn. You know, a lot of the patterns will tell you, hey, this is what you need. So, let me move my kind of ring light out of the way a little bit here. So you can see that it is a medium weight. So most patterns will tell you using you know, a medium weight yarn, or using a sock weight, or you know, it'll give you kind of a weight that you're supposed to use. So your first block is going to be your weight, and this is a medium weight. So it's kind of maybe like a spaghetti noodle. Now, if you're crocheting, which you are, you need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, or like the eye hook. And then that's for if you're knitting. And then this is kind of your laundry care instructions. And then, you know, this is your acrylic. So for this to get the standard size, you're going to want, you're going to want to get your hooks. Now these are my hooks. You can tell I've used them quite a bit. So we want a 5.5, which is the eye hook. And every hook has, there you can see, 5.5, and it's the eye. So every hook has the information on it. So you've got your yarn, and if it has a middle pull, I recommend pulling from the middle. Now, I'm not getting sponsored or anything like that, but I just want to put out there that this book, it's called Stitch and Bitch Crochet, The Happy Hooker. This is, if you're looking for a really great crochet book, this is the book for you. It is fantastic. She really breaks it down really, really well. Makes it really kind of easy. So if you are looking for a good book to kind of supplement your education, you can find them on Amazon. You can find them, sometimes a craft store will have them. I've had this one for years. You can tell because the pages are starting to fall out. I've had it that long. I love this book. Okay, so to get started, you need your scissors, you need your hook, and you're gonna need your yarn. So the way that the way that I learned to hold my crochet yarn is I take it and I wrap it around my pinky. So you start the tail side over and you wrap it one more time. So you got that. And then you go over your ring finger, under your middle finger, over your index finger. And then you kind of hold. So that's how I learned how to hold the yarn. So when you're first starting, you're going to make your chain stitch. And you just make a slip knot. So just around like that. And then you just pull a little loop up and through. And it slips into place. So you have your tail end that you're not going to use that to crochet with. Your attached end to the yarn is what you're going to use. So wrap around that pinky twice, over the ring, under the middle, over the index, and then I kind of grip that knot I don't know if you can see, I grip that knot with my middle finger and my thumb. And then I take my hook and I hold it like that. And you go, so the hook is facing towards you, and you go under and you grab that loop and you pull it through. 1. Grab that loop, pull it through. 2. Grab that loop, go under, grab it, pull it through. 3. This is called the chain stitch. This is going to be the foundation of everything that you do. And so I usually kind of hold as I'm stitching. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you can see this is your chain stitch. This is your basic chain stitch. You kind of turn it over and you can see what it looks like. So that is what you need to practice. So, you know, you're holding on to this tail part, your chains here. You've got your hook in this hand, you got your nice tension, and you go down like you're going to hit your finger with the hook, and you go under, you scoop it and pull through. And then pretty soon you'll be able to get pretty fast. And you can see I have been crocheting for, oh my gosh, 35, 36 years now. I was about 9 or so when my grandmother taught me how to crochet. She used to crochet quite a bit. She gave me a needle and a thread, and that was history, man. I loved it. So I just did a couple of chain stitches, and you're gonna want them, you know, you want them fairly uniform. So you want to make sure that your tension on the chain and on the yarn stays pretty even. So now some people wrap around their pinky, and some people only single wrap around the pinky, but then double wrap or even triple wrap around the index finger. For me, that's a little bit harder. You're going to want to find a grip that works for you. No one grip is the right way to do it. Everybody has their own grip. Everybody has their own technique. As long as you are grabbing and pulling through, I mean, really, that's what crochet is. It's called hooking because you're hooking the yarn and you're pulling it through loops. So basically all crochet is you are taking this foundation chain, and now you're going to make various patterns and sizes and everything to go into these loops to make your patterns. And they can be really intricate, and depending on the yarn, it can be really chunky. You can do anything. So your homework for this first video is I want you to work on chaining. So remember, find a good grip for you, and you kind of hold there. And I usually get about 3 or 4 stitches before I reset my grip against the needle. Because if you're just going and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, you start to get kind of an unreasonable tension on there, and it starts to get wonky and out of shape. And then you have some stitches that are big and some stitches that are little. So in order to kind of keep it all uniform, you want to really work on the tension. You want to kind of keep it the same throughout, so you have nice even stitches. I don't know if you can see that, but you want them kind of nice and even. So that is your basic chain stitch. And you know, there's stuff you can do with a chain stitch, but we'll get into that later. But so that is your first video, how to do the basic chain stitch and how to hold your yarn. So like I said, you can either wrap around your pinky and hold like that, or you can just go one over the pinky. So go under, over, and then double wrap around that index, however is easiest for you. I feel like I get a better slip or slide when I double wrap the pinky instead of the index finger. So it's really up to you what you're looking for, what you want. So that is your basic chain stitch. So find a nice economical ball of yarn, figure out what needle size you need, and work on that chain stitch, and meet me back here for the first stitch we're going to learn, which is going to be your basic single stitch. Have a good day, guys. Bye.